Oh, hey, smells like a top 10 list to me. Hey everyone, welcome back to Andrew's Wizardly Reads, and as always guys, I am Andrew, and today I've got another video for you. But before we get to that video, make sure you are liking and subscribing, and hitting that bell notification so you can get regular updates for when I put out new content. Post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Also make sure you're checking that description box down below for links to the Wizardly Duo Discord, as well as links to my social media and information about my Patreon. That said, guys, this is just kind of one of those general end-of-the-year wrap-up videos, topping it off with a top 10 series list that I read this year. Basically, these are the series that are completed, or that I read all the way up to where they are currently at within the year of 2021. This is going to be nothing new. I have talked about most of these books. Maybe not for a while, but I have talked about most of them. So, without really further ado, let's jump right into them. I will preface that none of these are like, this isn't in order of enjoyment. These are literally just, hey, I read these. These are the top 10 series that I can't look at that series and give you a general complaint about it. Or, well, it might be a general complaint where like, that thing didn't do, like, one thing I didn't like. But overall, like, my enjoyment level was like an 8 or 9 or higher. So, yeah, let's just jump right into it with The Broken Empire by Mark Lawrence. This is the book series that almost kind of sort of started it all. I remember I was talking to Nico, like this is before I was a booktuber. Like I started this one fairly soon after I either started booktube or right before. And I was talking to Nico. He was like, hey, you know, Broken Empire, give it a whirl. And so I was like, yeah, all right. And it's funny because this copy I actually got from Domnish Books. It's a signed copy that he won from doing like a book tower contest. He didn't need this copy, so he sent it to me, and I keep a letter from him. It's a very nice letter, and it's one of my. It just kind of sits right over here, and I can always kind of look at it. But yeah, it's a very nice letter from Domnish. But Broken Empire, guys, Broken Empire it's dark, it's nihilistic, it's in your face, it's not for everyone. But at the same time, it's got a lot of important themes. It's a character study on kind of a bad person. Like, Jorgen Krath is not a good person. He wants to be a good person. Well, he doesn't want to be a good person. He wants to be a better person. But at the same time, like, does he succeed? Doesn't he succeed? The third book is probably the weakest of the three. This is book 2, the strongest of the three. But of that trilogy, like, I want to get onto Red Queen's War because it's supposed to, like, tighten up Broken Earth or Broken Empire. Broken Earth is something completely different. Broken Empire even more, which is something I'm hoping to read in 2022. But The Broken Empire by Mark Lawrence is a fantastic, fantastic read. Just be prepared to be like, that's a little messed up. This is one that I thought I read in 2020, and turns out I read it in 2021. That's going to be Michael J. Sullivan's Rhaenyra Revelations. Guys, this series is absolutely fantastic. It is great introductory. Like, if you're looking to get into fantasy or you just want something that's pretty easy to read, Rhaenyra Revelations will do that for you. So will Legends of the First Empire. I just finished the first book, but unfortunately I've still got 5 others before it can be included on a list like this. And also I had more general complaints with Age of Myth than I did with this. But the Rhaenyra Revelations is a journey between 2 friends and their trials and tribulations. It's so good. It's got some really, really interesting, neat ideas. It's got great camaraderie. I can speak. It's got great repartee. I think I've said that word right. I don't know. It's got great verbal banter. Let's go with that. Great verbal banter between Royce and Hadrian. And everything in this is a lot of paper. I think I recently counted. It's like 2,500 pages, 2,400 pages for the 6 books in the 3-book bind-up. But totally worth it. Is this signed? Oh, hey! Yeah, so I got these off of Michael J. Sullivan's website, which, of course, I will have in the description box down below. He does great. He signs everything. Like, he signs the bookmarks, guys. Like, yeah, totally worth it. Alright, number 3, again, not a ranked list. This is one I'd read before, but it had been about 5 years. And so I didn't know if I was still going to like it. That's Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn by Tad Williams. Guys, I read the entirety of this in about 2 months. Which is, if you know anything about Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn, is a bit insane. This is classic fantasy pretty much at its best. This is the series that helped inspire George R.R. Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire. If you are a big A Song of Ice and Fire fan and you have not read Memory of Sorrow and Thorn, please do yourself a favor and check it out. It is 2 big books and then a third insanely unacceptable large novel. But, I mean, that third novel just packs so much in there. It's so fun. It is a wild ride. Dragonbone Chair is a bit of a slow ride. That can be a bit of a problem for some people. However, I definitely think it is worth the investment of your time because Simon, Benebik, Isgrimnor, Joshua, Miriamel, all of these characters are fantastic. And there's a great animal companion in here called named Kentaka, who never gets talked about. I would probably place Kentaka as a top 10 animal companion, like up there with Night Eyes and Storm and Suri and Orthos, like just a great animal companion. If you like a good animal companion, Kentaka is in here waiting for you. All right, this is going to come as a shock to nobody. And frankly, if it does come as a shock to you, just go back and watch some more videos. I don't shut up about Terry Pratchett's Guards. Like, guys, Samuel Vimes and the City Watch is just unparalleled to me. This is probably, if I had to rank something this year, this would probably take the /1 slot, the City Watch. I had so much enjoyment. There was maybe 2 books in the City Watch where I was just like, yeah, okay, that's like a 4.5 out of 5. Everything else, 5 stars, stellar, 5 Attack of the 5-Star Strumpet. Just from Nobby Knobs to Colin, Carrot, Angua, just so many great characters. The Patrician, Sybil Rampkin. Oh, just fantastic. Fantastic series. This follows just social themes and justice and no man is above the law. But it's also got a lot of wit, a lot of humor, a lot of heart. It deals with rage. I love this. Sam Vimes is probably the #1 character that I think I read this year that I was just like, yeah, I love that. Although there is one other guy, one other character who also appears on this list who is probably tied for Sam Vimes. Like, I kind of waffle back and forth. But Sam Vimes is so great. He's sarcastic. He's dry. He's a man who is down on his luck and basically, through circumstance and love, pulls himself up by his bootstraps. And boots are important in the City Watch, because you gotta have the right kind of boots as a watchman. Can't be too nice, can't be too cheap. But they've got to be worn in, just so you can feel the cobblestones. Alright, this one's kind of cheating. But I think I read 8 books in this series. And this one's kind of like, you know, when I say cheating, it's Realm of the Outlings, guys. But specifically the Tawny Man trilogy. And I know you're going to be just absolutely aghast that the Live Ship Traders didn't make this list. Live Ship Traders is good. It's just not my favorite of Realm of the Outlings. That goes to probably either Farseer or Tawny Man. Tawny Man, though, blew my mind. Like, what fits and the revelations and the way it ties all 3 trilogies together, mwah, chef's kiss. Fantastic. Like, honestly, if I hadn't read the previous 2 trilogies before getting to Tawny Man, I would not have enjoyed this as much. And that's why I kind of feel like everybody should, like, even if you're not super interested in Fitz's story in Farseer, I always highly recommend you read in publication order with Realm of the Elderlings, because each book ties it more together and you get more revelations and it builds on itself. Even though Live Ship Traders and Farseer are not directly related to each other, they do still, like, Live Ship enriches the world of the 6 duchies and Bingtown and all of that and the Rain Wilds. It's all one cohesive story, and you get little bits of lore sprinkled in, and it's just pieces clicking together. And it's like, you know, you've got this pot of gold, and when you read Farseer, it's like a third full. You know, it's whatever. It's still a pot of gold. But then, like, you read the Rain Wilds, and, like, all of a sudden, it's 2/3 full. And then you read Tawny Man, and that sucker is overflowing with riches. Guys, it's such a rich world, and you get the most out of it if you read in pub order. I cannot stress that enough. gut punches. This book is one of the few books this year that made me cry. Like, I cannot, like, I don't cry when I read. I'm not an emotional reader. Fool's Errand did it to me, guys. It is so good. All right, and now I believe the rest is, well, not the rest, but a good chunk of what remains is self-pub. And I've got to talk about Mike Shell's Iconoclast. Guys, Mike Shell's Iconoclast it's a wild ride. It's creative. It's inventive. It's a bit questy. It's a bit formulaic. Like, you know, it's got a reset in each book where you go, you form the party, you start the adventure, and then you get to, like, the big boss. So a lot of people can find that kind of boring. For me, it just worked so well. It's got strong Indiana Jones vibes. It's strong Indiana Jones vibes. It's just full of heart. It's full of love. It's full of terrifying things. And I cannot recommend this enough. I believe I've done a Why You Should Read on this series. I'll go ahead and link that up in the cards. Give it a watch. This is worth your time. I have not had anybody, I think, give any of the books below like a 3 stars, and I've had a lot of people give it 4 and 5. So it's fantastic. It's well worth your time. I should be talking with the author sometime in January. I need to kind of nail down a time for all 3 of us. That's me, Mike Shell, and Leslie from the Nerdy Narrative to sit down and talk. I love this series. I can't wait to discuss it with him. And I don't really have a lot more to say about that. This one should surprise nobody. That is going to be Zach Argyle's Voice of War. Oh, like, what can I say about Threadlight? Threadlight is only got 2 books out now. The 3rd book, we just got a cover reveal. It looks fantastic. I cannot wait to get my hands on it. This book was good. Stones of Light was even better. So if the 3rd book and just continues that trend of increasing in quality, I can't wait, guys. I cannot wait. If you have not read Threadlight, imagine something that's like Mistborn, like, you know, using magic to like push and pull things, but instead this uses Threadlight, which is different. You don't consume the metals. It's kind of an internal power, and the characters and the heart and what Chris and all of these characters go through is just fantastic. I still want a Direwolf. No. I still want a Chroma Wolf, but I don't know if that's ever going to happen since they are a fantastical creature. Zach, if you're watching this, please let me know how I can get my hands on a Chroma Wolf, because I'm willing to pay. Alright, we've got 3 more here. 2 in physical copy and 1 that I only have digitally. And of course, you didn't think I wasn't going to talk about Cradle by Will White. Guys, I read 10 books in Cradle in like 3.5 months. 10 books, 3.5 months. And each one of these was like 1 sitter, maybe 1.5 to 2 sittings, and done. Like, I just flew through these. And no matter how you consume this book, or these books, fantastic quality. Be you audio, digital, or physical. Like, great physical copy. I think some hardcovers are on the way. And I'll think about getting the hardcovers, because I just love this series. And I'll own it 16 different ways. This is one of the series that I look at, and I think, you know what, I'll probably read this next year as well if I have time. Like, if I need a palette cleanser and I've run out of palette cleansers, I'll probably reread Cradle. Or, you know, because we're supposed to be getting books 11 and 12 in 2022, so the series will then be complete. I will probably complete the series and then probably do a complete reread. Mainly because this is one that I could just read probably for the rest of my days. It's so much fun. And then, of course, I have to talk about my good friend Daniel's books. The Nightmareland Chronicles by Daniel Barnett. Guys, I love the Nightmareland Chronicles. I've talked ad nauseum about it on the channel. I've interviewed Daniel. Like, at this point, I can't sing its praises enough. This is a journey. This is horror with a kind of a quest-based structure, so it appeals really well to fantasy lovers. And for that reason, like, when I picked it up, I was like, I'll give it a try. I mean, it's horror. That's not really my thing. I was in for the ride. Like, I think I read all 6 books in like 5 months. And that's specifically, like, it took 5 months because I was waiting for the release of Lily. It just, like, wasn't out yet, and now that Lily is coming out in January and I've already gotten an arc. Guys, I love this series. I cannot recommend it enough. It is terrifying. It is full of heart. It is full of found family. It is full of love. Daniel Barnett is a mad genius and an undiscovered gem of the horror community. He should be way bigger than he is. And I've got so much love and passion for this series. Alright, and this is the only one that I've got digitally. I should probably rectify that. I read this year, and I was kind of dubious because the first trilogy was kind of meh. And that's going to be the Powder Mage trilogy, was kind of meh. But Of Gods and Powder by Brian McClellan, oh my god. This series is absolutely mind-blowing. It is everything I wanted and more from a series set in kind of like a Napoleonic era where, like, gunpowder is the main source of the magic. It's absolutely mind-blowing. It takes everything from the Powder Mage trilogy and then just cranks it up even higher and makes it even better. Because, like, I felt like Powder Mage started out with a bang, and then it never really reached those high highs again. But, like, I felt like we had a more gradual build-up. We had better character arcs. We had better reveals. We had better action. We had just so much love and attention put into Of Gods and Powder that there was just no way I couldn't give each book 5 stars. I really probably should get these books on physical copy because I absolutely love them. And I believe that is the end of this list. Like, each one of these books is fantastic. None of these are new books that, like, I've just recently read. It is a top 10 kind of recap list for 2021. Please, if you haven't checked out any of these series, I stand by each recommendation. So, let me know in the comments down below what your top 10 series of 2021 were, or just your top 10 books. We will, of course, have a top 10 list of just the top 10 books themselves of 2021, which I would need to start narrowing that down because I read 120 books this year, and so that's going to be difficult. That said, guys, till next time, peace out, stay magical, bye. And as always, I want to give a huge thank you to my patrons.